Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that in 28. Underground tapes, as my ass cap in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in they raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out great tits. New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again? When you chain birth, most of chains in the game. Why would I?
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not to ride nobody wave, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yani had to buy, Yani again hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, that's how you know we lit.
Taking no loss, we be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust, big dog with your leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when we ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Tell my Ellie, me I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful that people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cut team, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Boy, that they gon' know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only come for the money bags and I don't really wanna be famous, man. You know what's up?
We going crazy, we at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get Swayze. I just got off of the jet and I cry. My I win in Alhamdulillah. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Dawgyyyy now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. First play and a first pass for Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. In motion goes the tight end. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And this is caught, and the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play. Excellent execution, 18 yards on that fake and a 1st down. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Back to the ground, Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Not the warmest starts throwing the football. He was 1 for 3, now 1 for 4 on the opening drive.
So getting him comfortable is the key. And for him, it might be different than what we think is comfortable. We're probably thinking swing passes, easy checkdowns. Some guys, they're better off throwing it downfield. That's what really loosens them up.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's got room. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. They'll go again to Jones. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 44 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now Jones. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd and goal from the 1. Rodgers with a keeper. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down.
Almost want to go Shakespeare here. My kingdom for a yard. Quarterback sneak, nothing doing.
Better you be careful. Shakespeare might sue you.
Yeah, he might come get me, right? Good luck with that one.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Crosby is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Dawgyyyy now from his end zones. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame charge. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, That's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
On first down, Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Play fake. Cousins sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. 3rd and goal for Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Cook running on first down, but this defense up to the task there as they stop him before he can even get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1 officially.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Cousins. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Jones. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll try again with Jones. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a touchdown.
Josiah DeGuara from 3 yards out. And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is now 10-3.
Packers 10, Vikings 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Dawgyyyy now from his end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy. Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half, Cousins. He's going to try and go deep again. He's got a man, complete. And he's in for the touchdown. Final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And with the clock at all zeros, they get the touchdown to make this just a one-score game into the lockers.
And you know what else it does? Besides boost their confidence, it doesn't change your game plan any. See, if they're down bigger going into the half, you may have to revise what you plan to do in the second. But now in this spot, within one scoring striking distance, you go ahead and keep playing and do what you've worked on all week long.
Inside the booth alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
From the 44, Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings force the turnover They'll take over at their own 27. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Cook again. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Ryan Wright now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 90 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll try the right side with Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And nursing such a small lead, you thought he'd take better care of the football after his last drive. Now for the 2nd straight possession, he's put all the pressure right back on his defense. They need to take a stand and hold that lead.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Room here to run. And he's got this down to the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins out to his left. That'll be caught. It's Rager. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Rager, 35 yards.
Vikings have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this third quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football, and that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
Nixon now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Caught on the right side by Jones. So nothing doing there, and it'll be fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he is going to have a Packers first down. It's a gain of 12 on fourth. Rodgers to throw once more. He'll go right back to Tunyon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. We are through three quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10.
It's Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. They'll go with Jones. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now Cook running right. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And some room to run there. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And now here's another interception. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brought down back at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll get this to Dawgyyyy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's got some space here. A big play there for Minnesota. 47 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down, Cousins. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is out of bounds up around the 14-yard line. 109 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. Again, it's Jones. And he's out right at the 25. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
An inside give to Jones. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Ryan Asamoah. That is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings are going to win this football game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Move out there.
Throwing here, Cousins. Toward the pylon, caught. A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth-quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game.
And, my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings come up with a late turnover. It will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going